Today, all of us have gathered in commemoration of the life of the Buddha's birth, the Buddha's full awakening or enlightenment, and the Buddha's final passing away. This is a very auspicious occasion for so many people who take the life of the Buddha as an example for their own life all over the world, in unity with a sense of venerating a truly wise person. And the Buddha, he was self-awakened. He was somebody who endeavored to really look at the truths of nature and see what's behind old age, sickness and death and the suffering that comes from unwholesome ways of thinking, unwholesome ways of attaching to things. The Buddha taught in many ways to be a friend to each other, to be tolerant, to develop loving kindness. And the training in the Buddha's teachings is very much grounded in understanding one's own mind, understanding the nature of one's own mind, developing qualities of wisdom and compassion. Life in a very simple and pure way is an underlying quality of the Buddha's teaching, an underlying feature of the things that we can learn from presently in this day and age, where we are many times bound up with technology, many times bound up with a life that is seeking quick pleasures and superficial happiness and consumption, and we overlook the facts that all these things are actually of transient nature. This is something that the Buddha was emphasizing, that life is constantly changing. And in fact, the quest for his enlightenment, his search for enlightenment, came through contemplating old age, sickness and death. And these days we live in such a challenging situation with environmental problems, with aggression and war taking place, that this feeling of seeing suffering and overcoming suffering through one's own inner peace becomes more and more important. So the Buddha was born under the trees, was enlightened under the trees, and finally passed away under the trees. If we can learn from nature and have the clarity and the serenity of looking into the nature of our own experience, then we will rise up to the wisdom of the enlightened qualities that the Buddha has lived for us. And we'll be able to emulate his example by a life of simplicity, harmony, friendship, and abandon all the aggression, the sense of selfishness, and the delusion where we think in very superficial ways. These days, in a life bound up with technology and many modern human developments, we have to be very careful to keep ourselves grounded and also have time to look at what is happening in ourselves and around us in a very unbiased way. The Buddha's teachings of mindfulness, meditation, and the development of wholesome qualities, something I wish for all of us to realize bit by bit through a gradual awakening in our own way, in our own life, in the situation that we live in, coming from many different countries, seeing the universal truths in a similar way that the Buddha discovered many centuries ago, is crucial for this day and age, where we're challenged by many problems around the world. May we always have a sense of inner peace, reverting to our inner purity, the quality of mindfulness, and our wholesome way of relating to others with loving kindness, sympathy, forgiveness, and a mind that is filled with peace. This is something I truly wish on Visakha Puja for all of us to develop bit by bit. So I offer that for our reflection on this auspicious occasion.